Are you like me and one who just constantly strives for perfection? Maybe you're that person who is really quick to anger. Do you find that it's easier to focus on your children's weaknesses, how they disappoint you, so much easier than focusing on the big picture and on their strengths? You're going to enjoy today's conversation. Today's topic is, what are you grateful for? Establishing an attitude of gratitude. An attitude of gratitude is a decision that we make every day. And for some of us, we make that decision many times throughout the day. Gratitude is the antidote to fear. You can't have gratefulness and fear. Gratitude is the antidote to anger. Gratitude is that medicine that just gets rid of anger. Gratitude is the antidote to perfection and all the feelings that that rise up when we strive for perfection, the frustration and the angers and disappointments. You can't have gratitude and self-pity. Gratitude is the antidote to negativity and a negative mood. The list goes on and on and on. I just chose those characteristics that apply to me, but you can add so many more, no doubt. My name is Diana Rolston, and I want to welcome you to Spark Homeschool Parent. Each week, I bring you strategies to ignite the spark that engages your child's learning. And I want to welcome you. As we hear on the news more and more, just the bad news around us and the anticipation that maybe our children that are at school won't be at school anymore, I want to welcome those families who are just thinking that 2022 is the year that I'm going to homeschool my children. A big, huge welcome to you. And then there are some of you who have been homeschooling for the last 2 years. It's not easy, and no doubt you feel very alone. I want to welcome you to this Spark Homeschool parent community. And I want to welcome those families that have been homeschooling for many, many years. A special welcome to you, because you are showing that you just want to keep learning yourself and keep improving and changing on the environment that you have at home for your children. So welcome to you too. And as you're joining me on this live, just send me a quick comment. Let me know where you're coming from. And keep the conversation going. This conversation today is for you if you are striving for perfection, but you find that you're experiencing ungratefulness, negativity, disappointment. You're going to enjoy this conversation if you are looking for more patience and less anger. And this conversation is for you if you'd like to replace that fear and negativity with gratefulness and delight. I encourage you to share this Facebook Live and this Spark Homeschool parent community with other homeschool families that you know, because no doubt they are feeling alone and would really benefit from a community. Again, this is Spark Homeschool Parent, and I'm Diana Rolston, and today's conversation is, what are you grateful for? Establishing an attitude of gratitude. Did you have the opportunity to go back to a Facebook Live that I did 2 weeks ago, December 3rd? It was entitled, Are You Having Fun? How a Change of Attitude Can Affect Your Home Education Experience. At that time, I shared that our attitude has a really big effect on our perspective. That perspective affects our outlook and ultimately changes our day-to-day actions. And I shared a story about 3 stonemasons. If you didn't get a chance scroll down and take a look at that Facebook Live. I'll just share, when our heads are down, like that first stonemason, when we're just focused on our day-to-day tasks in the homeschool environment, maybe that's focusing on this math worksheet or this writing task, it is so easy to lose perspective and see only our children's weaknesses. My son didn't finish his math assignment. He doesn't know how to multiply 8 and 7. Or my daughter wrote that sentence in the wrong tense and poor grammar. Or my son didn't spell that word correctly. Again, it's easy to be chipping away like that first mason and just focusing on those day-to-day tasks. But then that third mason reminds us to look skyward. Rather than focusing on just this one thing that we're doing, to look skyward and to look at the big picture of our homeschooling journey, our longer range goals. When I started doing that, my attitude of fear and doubt was replaced by an attitude of gratitude. Can I share just a quick story? When my children were 12 and my twins were 10, we had a family come to the lake. We spent the day together. They didn't really know my children, and my children didn't know them. But when they had left at the end of the day, she said to me, "Your family really speaks nicely to each other." I was kind of taken aback, but I was so appreciative, because that, just a short time before that, was a decision that I had made. Rather than focusing on, "You don't speak nicely to me, you sound rude, don't talk to your brother like that, and don't ever talk to me like that again," I changed my language. And I was starting to say things like, "That doesn't sound like you. You usually speak to me really kindly. Try it." Another quick story. My husband and I used to have a home building business. My husband is still in the home building business. And my 3 boys all have jobs now on different construction sites, not with each other and not with my husband. But I had shared on a Facebook Live that one of my longer term goals of parenting and of homeschooling was to have my children, my boys, aware of their strengths and to creatively use those strengths to support their families in the future when they become men. So a really long-term goal when my children were only 10 years old. But just last week, somebody who works with one of my boys said to my husband, "Your son is really hardworking. Whenever I see him, he's always working. He's never on his phone like so many other young adults that I know." If you would have told me someone would have said that about this son 10 years ago, I never would have believed you. At that time, I didn't focus on, "You're not working hard, you're lazy actually. Step it up." Words like that. The Bible has a great quote that helped me in this area. It says, "What comes out of our mouth is the outflow of our heart." So fill your heart with gratitude and share those words. So rather than sharing with my son that he's lazy and he's avoiding work, which to me when he was much younger it seemed like that, I started saying words like, "Hey, thanks for putting away that dish. Okay, never mind that there was a full dishwasher and a table and a countertop full of dishes, but I truly was grateful that he put away that one dish. I want to share a slide that I put up on our Facebook group earlier this week. Gratitude. Gratitude is the positive state of being grateful, an overwhelming feeling of appreciation and thankfulness. And this is the important part. The desire to return kindness to others. Overflow your heart with gratefulness so that it becomes outward, that you have that desire to return kindness to others. Last week I had the opportunity, I know many of you were able to watch the Facebook Live. I was talking with Paula Moretsky, and the conversation was about every family's hidden secret, anger. I really appreciate that conversation because it brought something that a lot of us deal with in the dark, not sharing with others. It brought that conversation out, and we had an open conversation about anger. Paula shared some experiences of anger for herself and in her family, shared her family's anger experiment. But she also shared some practical tools in dealing with her anger. Paula is a mom of 8 children, so she often had children feeding in the night, so constantly waking her up. As you can imagine, all of you are parents, you remember those days, but it brought up feelings of anger. And she changed her perspective and started this feeling, making the decision to be grateful, to say thank you. So for Paula, she was saying things in the middle of the night when she was woken up by this child once again. Thank you for crying for me. Thank you for that you are not sick, that my baby is healthy. Thank you that I can help him in his discomfort. I'm grateful for the roof over my head and a warm bed for my baby. Thankful and grateful that I can sleep tomorrow. And it can go on and on and on. And I encourage you that in those times when you find that you're feeling anger, when you're like just often on the verge of being angry, make that decision of gratitude. Because gratitude is the antidote to anger. You can't be angry and be grateful at the same time. For us who continue to strive for perfection, it also often brings thoughts of discouragement, frustration. And I want to encourage you, as we're striving for perfection, just to be grateful for the small accomplishments. I'm an educational therapist, so I have the opportunity to meet with a lot of students and work very closely with a lot of students who struggle in school. And for them, progress is slow. And it's not easy for parents when we're with our children all the time. It's not easy to notice that small progress. But as an educational therapy, I take lots of notes, and I notice these things. I notice these small accomplishments, and I am so very grateful for them. And they encourage me to continue working with these children. And I encourage you, when we're living with our children, it's hard to notice slow progress. But look for just those small things that you can be appreciative of. Gratitude is the antidote to perfection and all those feelings that come from not meeting perfection. I know that a lot of you are experiencing very, very difficult times right now. And I don't want to discount that, and I don't want to ignore that. There are things that we can all be grateful for. And write those down, concentrate on those, make that decision to be grateful. Maybe you're grateful today for the medicine that your husband has to help him with his illness. Maybe you're grateful for today for the help that your daughter is receiving. Whatever it is, it's a decision to be grateful. Gratitude is the antidote to negativity, anger, perfection, self-pity, selfishness, self-centeredness, negativity, pessimism, cynicism, victim mentality, negative mood. The list does truly go on and on and on. Gratitude is the medicine that cures fearfulness, doubt. You can't be grateful and selfish at the same time. I proposed on our Facebook group, Spark Homeschool Parent, proposed a gratitude challenge. Let me just share this with you. This was the post. So how many of you on Tuesday journal 3 things you're grateful for? Share with me, what are some things that you're grateful for that you wrote down and journaled on Tuesday? We have so much to be grateful for, whether it's big, big things or little things that happen. Just notice them throughout the day. On Wednesday, make a list of your accomplishments. It's not bragging, it's not being proud, it's just looking back and seeing what direction you're headed in. Make a list of those accomplishments. I'm really excited about January. January is the month where the R in Spark, reflection. And that's the second Friday in January. I'm going to be interviewing Rachel Halderson. She has some great ideas about how we can list our accomplishments, look back and be grateful on those. On the post there, Thursday, celebrate how far you've come. Whether it's how far you've come from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, the week, how far you've come since September or the last year, whatever it is. We are all moving forward, and you're doing awesome. You've come a long, long way. So celebrate that. Today's Friday. If you haven't already, open the door for someone. Open the door for someone. Because we just heard that gratefulness is that decision that we make, and then it has that effect of wanting to share with others. I hope this has been helpful for you. I am grateful for holidays. Today is the last day of work for me, for school, for a lot of you. For some of you my friends and family in the Southern Hemisphere, is the beginning of your summer break. Amazing. We all are thankful for that. And Christmas is upon us, and all the celebrations, whatever they look like this year. I am so grateful for those. This, again, is Spark Homeschool Parent, and my commitment is to equip you with the skills and the mindset to navigate through this ever-changing homeschool journey. If you're looking for a community of encouragement, join us, if you haven't already, in the Spark Homeschool Parent Facebook group. Next year, this is the last live that I'm going to be doing in 2021. But in 2022, you can find me here every Friday at 1 p.m. So looking forward to that. January, as I said, we're going to be focusing on reflection, taking a look at how far you've come and how that helps us continue on our journey. And in January, when I'm back, I'm also going to be announcing some upcoming workshops. So I'm really grateful and looking forward to that also. Blessings to you all.